if you want to see the future, you got to get high. Now, what did I mean by that? Did I mean drop some acid and look at a spreadsheet? No, I was just saying there are many different paths in this preposterous exercise of trying and attempting to see the future. And I'm from the persuasion that it's okay to be creative. And actually, do you know what? It might actually help you see the future's going to come at you in curves. It's going to come at you from the perpendicular. It ain't going to come logically in straight lines from your spreadsheet. So anyway, today I'm really fascinated. I've been watching there are some listed sector cannabis stocks, and I've not been there. And thank goodness they've had a torrid time. But increasingly, I have this feeling. So one of the great setups in investment is to find a business opportunity where the government's not in front of you saying cease and desist. The government's behind you saying, go for it. We're the wind that's going to push you further. Elon Musk benefited from that, from the great subsidization and, of course, the great social will that we would shake up and try and make the planet less unhealthy. And so I'm coming at you with a discursive today about the state of the cannabis industry in the United States, and perhaps we'll touch upon later. And I have the great honor, after this very, very long introduction, but I've got Peter Barsoum.
Should we talk about sex or hold
yeah,
on
sex?
To that?
So again, because it's not Viagra.
No,
it's the emotion. You didn't used to call it love.
Yeah, it was always called love.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it still called love?
It's still called love.
Oh, but we're talking about sex.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about sex because, that's start the conversation about love.
Now I'm thinking about George Michael. No, I don't want to have sex with George Michael. He's dead and I'm not gay, but I want your sex. Anyway, I don't.
We as humans, we have been consuming substances to improve our libido since the beginning of time.
But so this is for enhanced libido.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is for enhanced libido.
I thought it was just to make you feel like more than love.
No, it's specifically to enhance libido. I mean, it does make you feel more love and access more of your heart, but this was specifically designed to enhance libido. And nature has given us so many amazing plants that are aphrodisiacs. In every single continent other than Antarctica, there are plants that we humans have found, that are wild, which have aphrodisiac qualities. And what we've done is harness the best of what nature has to offer in aphrodisiacs and bring it together in this amazing product, love. The way love works, so in all of our experiences, we try and start with what's the insight? What is it that somebody is looking for in that experience, or what constitutes a great experience from a libido and sensual perspective? And for love, it's 4 things. The reason why we have bad sex or can't get in the mood is often not because there's something physically wrong. It's because we're too much in our head and not enough in our body. Right? That's the first. If you're too much in your head and you're disconnected, you can't connect either with your own body or connect with your partner. So we use a plant from Mexico called Damiana, which helps you drop out of your head and into your body. And
I like that. Say that again.
We use a plant called
Damiana.
Damiana, yeah. Yeah.
That sounds like a social greeting. Hey, Damiana.
Yeah, that is. It does sound
like you want to high five Damiana.
It's a beautiful sounding plant. It smells great. You can actually smoke Damiana.
Really?
It has some wonderful qualities.
What kind of smell is it?
It's kind of like a spicy aroma is the way I would describe it. Yeah.
I wonder if they add it to perfume. I'm launching a perfume. I feel like having some Damiana in there.
Ooh. You're launching a perfume.
Yeah.
What inspired that?
Being creative.
Yeah.
Spray some acid, And we're getting off track.
Yeah,
Damiana.
So maybe Damiana will be in your perfume.
Yeah, and is it's not sexually oriented between the sexes. Like it has the same potency with the ladies and the men. Yeah.
Damiana really works well for particularly for women,
Really?
but it works well for men and women. So that's the first part of love. Drop out of your head and into your body. The second part of love is that you often need a little bit of stimulation, but you don't necessarily want to take caffeine.
Right.
So we use the
When you're
bromine.
tired when you say stimulation.
Well, I mean, like if you want to be sensual, you want to have a little bit of energy, right? You want to bring a little bit of energy, and caffeine.
And typically it's alcohol, yeah. And then it's actually, I mean, that's the most.
That's more of a
restricting.
depressant, exaccly. Yeah.
I was happy at the time, but then.
Well, it's an inhibitor, but not necessarily a stimulant in terms of. Alcohol is typically, more of a depressant on your system. Yeah. So we use theobromine, which is a fast-acting, short-life stimulant that kind of gives you a little perk, but doesn't have a long last. So unlike caffeine. So now you're out of your head, into your body, get a little bit of energy. The third part of love is blood flow to the pelvis area. So we use two plants that are called the Viagra of the Amazon, Muirapuama and Katuaba, that come from the Amazon. And those increase blood flow for women, so it aids in lubrication and improves erections for men. It's not as good as Viagra, otherwise it would be a prescription drug, but it operates.
But again, it's the combination of all of that.
Yeah. And then the last part is ashwagandha, which is a wonderful Ayurvedic herb. It boosts your libido. Clinical studies have shown that women have better quality orgasms on ashwagandha. So those are the four parts of what make love.
Really resisting the temptation to make some cheap gags.
Go for it.
No, I'm being very, very disciplined. Very, very disciplined.
I mean, you should see the stories that we get about.
What do people share stories?
Oh my God!
And what do you have a platform for them coming through with that, or is it all anonymous? Or
no. They'll email it in. They'll write reviews.
Do you encourage that?
Yeah.
So where would they email that into? Like your website?
Yep. They can go to info@1906.shop. They can go to our Instagram.
Good or bad sort of thing. Like, it doesn't work, etc. All views welcome.
We love to hear feedback. We get the best stories about love. I mean, people have written us stories about how their children have been conceived on a night that they have love. We've had postmenopausal women, huge following of women who say, I lost my libido until I started taking love. When
Is
we
that
were
women with menopause and
Yep. So it's powerful. The New York Post called it the new New York love drug.
What is it called again? The manana? What?
Damiana.
Damiana.
Yeah, Damiana.
I would call it Damiana. I'd be like, that stuff is Damiana. Okay, so we've done that. We've done that. Which have we done them all?
No, we chill. We haven't talked about.
Oh, chill.
Yep.
Okay, so difference between chill and bliss.
Yep. Chill is for anxiety. Bliss is for mood enhancement. The two are related, but they are different in terms of the pharmacology of how they work. So, like I said, bliss operates on your serotonin system. Chill is an anxiolytic. And anxiety, I mean, who doesn't have anxiety in this day and age at some point in time? It's a major epidemic. I don't know. When I was growing up, we never heard of the word anxiety. Did you?
No.
Yeah.
What comes from these telephones,
Yeah. I mean, it's terrible. And what are we doing? Well, Xanax works for some people, but doesn't work for everybody else. And people have been using cannabis to relieve anxiety also forever. Part of the problem with cannabis and anxiety is for a lot of people like, okay, thank you very much. You knocked my anxiety out, but you knocked everything else out. I don't have motivation. I don't have energy. And so now I'm just kind of on the couch without anxiety, but useless. And chill is intended to be functional. So knock your anxiety out without knocking you out.
I had a year on antidepressants. Would that be the anxiety or would that be the mood enhancement?
Yeah, that would be the mood enhancement. That would be like bliss. Yeah. How was your experience with that?
Terrible. I slept very well, but talking about creativity, I had no creativity. I'm kind of known for my my writing, my investment letters. And they went from these lurid, crazy, mousetrap adventures to like almost like a spreadsheet printout of X's and zeros and ones, like a digital like thing. And thank God I had the courage just to rip the Band-Aid off, if you will. I mean, just not good. And then the worst thing about all of that is these are brain drugs, and they're being prescribed by doctors who just don't have the specialism, it's and overprescribed really bad. But it was a point in time where it was a kind of, I don't know if you've seen the movie Angel Heart, Robert De Niro, and my favorite movie, and Mickey Rourke. And Johnny Favorite made a pact with the devil, and I'd made a pact with the devil. I was going to conform. I was going to wear a suit. I was going to fire all my friends and build a business, and I'd be managing $1.5 billion. And all of that happened. So like Charles Dickens and his famous story, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. All of that happened, but I was just, I was robbed of my personality.
Yeah. It's thank God you were able to use it for what it needed to be for a short period of time.
Well,
getting off is terrible.
Well, I was fortunate. I guess I was lucky.
You're lucky, but some people really have ordeals trying to get off SSRIs, antidepressants.
Well, for me, I had to just accept that I wouldn't manage $1 billion. The investment's very conservative.
Yeah.
And the quid pro quo was, they wouldn't give money to the crazy guy, even though the crazy guy was actually ripping it up. So anyway, I've forgiven them, whatever.
Have you?
Yeah. Now tell me, so what's the distribution like in terms of the most popular? Are they all quite similar? Like, are they range bound, like in terms of what you sell, or is there just one clear, like?
No, I would say like Bliss and Chill are the two biggest ones, and not surprising. And I didn't bring sleep, so Bliss, Chill, and Sleep that's
Bliss, Chill, and Sleep.
Yeah, because people have issues with insomnia, they have issues with anxiety, and they have issues with depression, and for a lot of people, those are daily matters.
And the genius as well, no, given if you can replace Ritalin and the like.
Yeah, then kind of the next three are sort of in the next category.
Yeah.
I still think part of why genius doesn't have more traction is a lot of people don't think about, I can take cannabis and be smarter.
Yeah,
that association isn't there. But I'll tell you, like gamers, this is the shit among gamers. So we've had a huge following among male, female, all ages of gamers who say this is what helps improve my score. Golfers have written us in to say like this has improved my handicap. I just had somebody yesterday who sent us a testimonial about pickleball, and
I love pickleball.
So use genius at your next pickleball.
Well, it would come in handy because I am really bad at pickleball, and I have it in St. Bart's, and friends, invités come to play me.
Yeah.
I'm the resident, and I get my ass whipped all the time.
Well, maybe we should do some tests here.
Well, do you know, because I carry too much. I mean, I'm getting looser, but I can't hold. I'm like, I grip. I'm like, I get really angry. And Roger Federer, you got to be like as if you're kind of gay in camp and all that stuff, and which I want to be, but I just can't pull that off on the pickleball. So I'll be trying.
Let's try the genius and see if that works for you.
So that's fantastic, and God, I've really enjoyed that. But see, the genesis of getting you here and having this was I was familiar with your product. We've got some common friends, and we've got the commonality of St. Bart's. And from time to time, and I always was struck by, I think you've done a really good job on the appearance. It's not salacious and it's professional, and you're reaching out and you're trying to treat these really widespread common ailments, which are bringing unhappiness to people. But I was always thinking about and watching the cannabis listed industry and where governments and where, the politics of the thing is. And I found myself again on your website. And it was like, wow, we've changed. Like there was, obviously it's incremental and you're making the experience better. And I found myself able, I think you were very prominent saying you can order this across all states in America.
40 states.
40 states. And so I was like, oh, wow, would Florida be one of those states? And I was like, a happy day. And it was. And so I could order it from you, have it taken to my shipper, shipped to St. Bart's. And so now I've got the product. And that was such a huge leap. Like suddenly I'm free, from the patriarchs and people telling me what I can and cannot do. And then the fun thing was later that day, you dropped me an email saying, wow, Hugh, I can't believe you're taking the product. And I was like, wow, have you never heard of data privacy? But we know each other. It was fun. And then just looking at it, and we were talking, so you've got a business where previously it was very strictly regulated.
Yeah.
Not as strictly, but with the metaphor would be the drinks industry, where there would be, and especially if you're in Salt Lake City, got to try and buy tequila there. Where there's state approved wholesalers. Is that what you'd call them? Dispensaries. Yeah. And that was like 18 months ago. That was the mainstay of your business. Kind of 80% or so.
Up until 6 months ago.
Up until 6 months ago.
Yeah,
wow.
This is new. Our direct to consumer.
And now you're direct to consumer.
Yeah.
And direct to consumer, I was like, boom, we got to talk about the implications of direct to consumer.
Yeah.
So talk to me about
Look, this is big. As cannabis was being legalized and regulated, there was a lot of fear associated with legalizing. Understandable given how much we've been told about cannabis, so on and so forth. Anyway, so the state regulated regimes are that you have to go into a licensed dispensary that sells cannabis, show your ID at the door, and then you are limited by how much you can buy.
And you can only pay cash?
No,
right? Every time I go to the weed shop in California, you got to go to an ATM. And
in most cases, you can only pay cash. It's another reason, another problem in the industry. Right. There are some places that accept debit cards now, but it's mostly cash.
But now online.
Now we're online, yeah. So this is a game changer because walking into a dispensary for some, they might not have a dispensary close by. It may not be the best experience. And who doesn't want to have the convenience of having stuff delivered directly to your home? So 6 months ago is when we launched our online offering. So now you can go online, 1906.shop, put in your credit card, have it shipped directly to your door. Voila.
Yeah. And I have done it.
And it's 100% federally legal.
It even got through French customs.
Yeah. Wow. That's good. Okay.
I may have changed the invoice. But,
So,
and actually, the curse was it arrived after. I haven't been in St. Bart's for 2 weeks or so, and it arrived after my departure. I was like, damn.
Okay.
But the good thing is, it arrived.
But at least it arrived, and you have stuff here, so
so it does arrive, folks.
Yeah, good. So.
So you can order
like Texas. You mean take Texas? Texas is our number one market right now. There are no dispensaries in Texas. There's no legal regulated dispensaries. Texas has not legalized cannabis, but because this is under the hemp rules and it's a microdose of THC, 100% federally legal. So Texas is our biggest market. Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, all these folks who otherwise wouldn't have access to safe regulated cannabis can now buy it and have it directly shipped to their home. Huge.
Yeah, very big.
Yeah.
And what was the change? The Biden administration, there was further deregulation, I think about 10 days ago. What would that entail?
Yeah. So what big news is that the DEA announced that they are going to move marijuana from Schedule I drug, which is the most abusive. That's where heroin.
It's classified the same as heroin.
Yeah, it's crazy. Classified the same as heroin. And they're now going to move it to what's a Schedule III status. So similar to ketamine. what does that mean? Is that it won't be federally illegal anymore. We'll have access to public markets, and it's going to change, really change the landscape in a huge way. Alcohol companies, the Johnson & Johnson, the Unilevers and others, this will now open up a path for these other large players to enter into the market, which is great.
I'm amazed that the ketamine's got off quite lightly. I happened upon that a few weeks back, and I had a heroic dose and fell into the hole. It was just gruesome. Again, it was
gruesome.
Yeah, well, it's like horse paralyzer. I mean, I had to sit on the ground and drool for 30 minutes.
Have you ever gotten an injection? Have you ever got it?
Well, I met a guy and he had the spray.
Yeah, the spray is okay.
The nasal spray.
Yeah, the spray is okay. But try it with intramuscular under a doctor's care.
Yeah, I tell you what I had. Listen to me. I was in my favorite hotel in London, and I partied consecutively to 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
and I was really weary. Imagine. And the front desk said, honey, you should get a drip, like all influencers and Instagram get. But I got. The guy was like, "You should. Are you familiar with procaine?"
No.
I mean, it sounds like cocaine, and you get it in the vein, which was the basis of a funny Instagram.
Yeah,
that's all. But it's kind of right up your street because it stimulates dopamine and serotonin.
Procaine, it's called.
Procaine. I think it goes by several. You'll know the Latin name. Yeah. I'm sure you probably have got some of it in your product. But it really worked. I mean, the only thing is I had to sit there for 45 minutes and take it 1.5 liters of liquid going through, which was fine.
Yeah, well, you probably needed it also.
Yeah. So again, but let's recap. So up until 6 months ago, you're going through dispensaries, and that's a wholesaler.
Yeah.
And your bargaining position and the like is you're kind of down the pecking order in terms of, I think your profit margins wouldn't be so great.
Totally.
There's an entirely different story when you hit the consumer. You're like, hey, hi, have we got a product for you, right?
Yep.
So you've been freed of the shackle, like you've been given a profit opportunity to sell up. Wow.
A profit opportunity and a scale opportunity.
Yeah,
that's and that's what makes this ever so attractive. So it's not only like we will make so much more money by going direct to consumer and not going through different layers in the value chain, but also the size of the market. Like New Jersey's our best market, but we're limited to just the number of dispensaries in New Jersey, which is far less than the number of liquor stores, for instance. Or the number of convenience stores. So that limits just how much people can access right then and there. And then, of course, the economics are shared among so many people. Yeah. So now this takes it out of the dispensary and directly to your doorstep where it's discreet and you can, just like everything else we get on Amazon.
There's no shame.
Yeah. Well, thankfully
you can order
that's
on
changing.
your Instagram.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
Now, I'm sure people will be going, but so how much is, what do you call these, cartons or whatever?
Tins, yeah. Tins. I mean, $40 online.
$40?
Yeah, very
And
reasonable.
How many pills?
You get 25 pills of 2 milligrams each.
2 milligrams. So you got 50 milligrams for $40.
So it's a microdose. Yeah. We're coming out with stronger potency gummies soon.
And so where are you with the regulation with that? Because you were saying Texas, you can get in there with the hemp and with the microdosing.
Yeah. Yep.
Where do you then run up against turbulence and?
So what the rules are is that the amount of THC is limited to 0.3% by weight. Our pills are 700 milligrams, so that limits the amount of THC that we can put in each pill to 2 milligrams.
Right.
When we launch our gummies, which are have a larger weight, then we could put a lot more cannabis in it, and so for those people for whom they need a higher dose, we'll be able to satisfy them online now.
Yeah, and can you say there's something I've never understood? So with the cannabis, is the THC and the CBD. These are the two essential building blocks behind it. Yeah, and you tend to come and separate them. Do you separate them? Like they're always there, but you're playing with the size. So your product would have a predominance of CBD.
It depends.
It depends.
They all have THC and CBD. Like Chill has a much higher dose of CBD, 25 milligrams of CBD. So the way we do it is that, we don't extract the plants, but we have other people who extract the cannabis plant. And the cannabis plant has lots and lots of cannabinoids, THC being the most prevalent, CBD being the second most prevalent. And then there's a whole host of other beneficial compounds from CBC, CBG, CBDV, THCV, so on and so forth, that are in more minute amounts. So what you do is you take the plant, you extract it, break it out into its chemical composition of different cannabinoids, and then you reconstitute it in the right ratios. And so that's why Chill, for instance, is 5 milligrams of THC, 25 milligrams of CBD, L-theanine, and magnolia. And then you get this.
What is the sativa? That's THC, and that's the one where you get an exhilaration kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So the indica sativa hybrid aren't really helpful because
as classifications.
As classifications, because so many of the plants that are cultivated now are all mixed in genetics. So there are very few that are pure sativa or pure indica. But it's helpful at least as a education of consumers to say, okay, there are types of cannabis that can help give you more energy, more daytime use, and types of cannabis that are more, evening or PM use. What we've done is taken it to the next level, which is it's not just indica or sativa. It is exactly how it is that you want to feel.
So why is the THC more heavily regulated? Because you're saying you've got an express limit, quite a, not draconian, but there's a, on the THC.
Because it gets you high.
Because so that's
the government doesn't want to anything.
But so CBD doesn't make you high?
No, CBD doesn't get you high.
It just makes you chill.
Makes you chill. It's anti-inflammatory, and definitely anxiolytic. It's not a sedative, but you take you can take a lot of CBD. You're not gonna get that psychoactive effect that what people are looking for or desire,
which I'm not looking for.
And so we do it by just adding a little bit. It's just a little microdose. It's just a little bit of THC so that you're still fully functional.
Absolutely. So the big challenge, so it's a great opportunity, but you've got to grow the business now. Yeah. And you're a consumer product business. So your biggest charge is going to be marketing, promotion.
Yep.
It's one thing to have a fabulous product, but if no one knows about it,
yep.
How are you addressing that?
Well, I'm counting on you.
Oh, counting on me. Okay, yeah. What have you been doing so far?
Yeah.
What have you been doing all your life, honey, before you met me?
We look at it as, the most important, not the most important, but one of the ways is through word of mouth. Right? These are psychoactive substances.
It's endorsement, yeah.
It's endorsement. People are going to listen to, oh my God, this helped me with blank, or I felt like this.
That's why your testimonies are so powerful, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the number one.
But you're not allowed to invest in a billboard in Times Square.
We can.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, we can. But
that's expensive.
It would be expensive, exactly. Yeah. And I'm not sure it's going to be very effective. I mean, I just got a pitch, around New York City, how they have all those digital signage.
Yes.
So we can actually advertise on those. Somebody just pitched me on that yesterday. Not that we're, so those are like digital.
I definitely.
But we can, we advertise on Facebook now as well.
But I see this as a kind of a more mature, it's like a professional lifestyle thing. You're treating the curse of the professional of your working life and the schedule, etc., like that, and the way it's not called. It's not got some silly catchy name and stuff. And
if you want to see purple dragons, this isn't. You're not going to come to 1906.
What is a purple dragon?
Yeah. So if you,
I chase a lot of dragons, but I can't recall meeting a purple one. Oh no, it's zoom time. It's the evil acid capitalist time. Friends, family, thank you for watching the first half an hour. I'm afraid the rest is behind the evil paywall. Is exclusively for Well, lovely folks on Patreon and Substack. We do hope you can find us on the other side. We really hope we whetted your appetite. Peace and love from St. Boris, from the Acid Capitalist.